Hello, welcome. Happy Fishy Friday. Yippee! Why are my eyes so big when I look up? What's going on with that? Hello? Hang on, let me try to calibrate this again. Looking places. Confusing the thing. You know what? We'll deal with it. Anyway, hi, I don't have reverb on anymore. But today we're reading The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish, Volume 3. Volume 3. If it's your first time here with these fishy streams, you don't really need that much context. It's still a good time, but it is also nice to know the context. But, oh my god, we have fishy babies! This is a, Danmei novel, meaning Chinese BL, and it's beautiful and it's so fun, and I'm so excited to read the next couple of chapters. You have no idea. Oh my god, you have no idea. This next chapter is called Fishy Babies Transform, and it has an illustration, so I know what happens, but it's so cute. I'm gonna kill myself. Okay. We have tea. We're having a chill time. I think I could get through a couple of chapters today. I'm feeling normal. Feeling average, meaning slight pain in my neck. Which is very normal. Slurp, slurp. But yes, we have tea. I have some raspberry lemon tea because honestly, I would have a different tea, but we don't have any other teas that are like good for reading and that don't make me sleepy and that don't have caffeine in it. So that's what we're doing today. But the caffeinated ones are so good. Okay, no more tea talk. Tea. I'm like tea. Oh, I'm kind of tired. I'm a little bit eepy. But that's fine. That's fine for this stream. That's fine. We're gonna sit back, relax, read a book, and find out how these fishy babies transform. Are they gonna be half and half, or are they just gonna go full transformation? What's gonna happen? I don't know. Are we gonna have little baby mer babies? Mer babies? I don't know. I do know. I don't know. But yeah, my tea is good to drink. Poppy, you're looking mighty devilish. You got red eyes. That's so scary. Okay. I hope you're having a good day. I hope we can chill and relax and have fun here. Alright. Chapter 90, Fishy Babies Transform. Page 139. Liu couldn't believe that the cooperation Prince Jing had mentioned before involved him pretending to be pregnant. You can't believe it? After all this time you've been with him, you can't believe that he would... Okay. That's not appropriate, is it? Liu was a little conflicted. Wasn't this lying to the Emperor? It's fine. Prince Jing found a whole bunch of pillows, all in various sizes, then handed him a note. Didn't you give birth to Da Bao, Er Bao, San Bao, and Si Bao? This is just so people think you gave birth to them as a human. What's wrong with that? You were literally pregnant. You were literally pregnant, my guy. It's literally the truth. How is it a lie? It's the truth. Stupid. He's so dumb. The shock Liu felt was like an arrow to the knee. Prince Jing wasn't wrong. The kids were his either way. He hoped they officially call him father in the future. Maybe then he could just pretend to be pregnant? The moment he agreed, a slightly flat pillow was stuffed into his robes. There were strings on the pillow so he could tie it behind his back. Prince Jing tested the tightness and kept looking at Liu with concern, as though asking, "Is it heavy?" Okay, he might be the first person to be treated this well despite lying about being pregnant. Liu shook his stomach happily and quietly said, "No, it's fine." Despite his reassurances, Prince Jing still kept worrying. He knew Liu's stomach would have to become very big in the future to feasibly fit 4 children. That's right, 4 human babies. Prince Jing had always wanted to keep Xiaoyu at his side and away from the sight of others. Now he was even more sure of this decision. Even though it wasn't strictly necessary, it was still better if random people didn't show up around Liu. Since Prince Jing had to report the news to the emperor, though, Wang Ji, as the head eunuch, obviously also found out. After he was notified that Li Gongzi was pregnant, Wang Gonggong was dazed for a while. Liu was afraid of their ruse being discovered, but to his surprise, after a momentary pause, Wang Ji started to cry. Of course, because he's just a sappy. Oh my god. Of course. Okay. This old servant is so happy that His Highness is about to have children. Wang Ji wiped his eyes and said in a trembling voice, "I used to think that if I could one day see His Highness's children, I could die without regrets." At first, Wang Ji had also doubted the truth of the situation. How could a man get pregnant, I wonder? But when he saw His Highness guiding Li Gongzi around himself, and that Li Gongzi's stomach was a little raised, he looked very pregnant. Could it be faked? Could this be faked? What is going on? So what if it was a man who was pregnant? It was still His Highness's children. After crying, Wang Ji wanted to laugh. He thought Li Gongzi must be very blessed. Master Xiaoyu getting pregnant was an excellent sign. After all, now His Highness was going to have his own children. Wang Ji was too excited. Prince Jing had no choice but to pat him on the shoulder to calm him down. Wang Gonggong was this thrilled to learn he was pregnant with just one baby. How would he react when he found out there were 4? After Wang Ji calmed down a little, Prince Jing told him he held high hopes for this child, and that he would take care of all necessary big business himself. Wang Ji nodded to show that he understood. His Highness already held Li Gongzi in extremely high regard. Now that Li Gongzi was pregnant, it made sense His Highness wanted to do everything himself. If His Highness was taking care of the pregnancy, then what was left for him to do? Wang Ji slapped himself on the forehead. How could he forget? His Highness had asked him to prepare for the wedding gift. He felt galvanized. Galvanized? I don't know what that means, but we're pretending that we do. He felt galvanized to pay even more attention than before, so His Highness and Li Gongzi would be pleased. After he'd let Wang Ji know, Prince Jing summoned the physicians that had come along with them to the western border. But now that Li Gongzi was officially his family and would eventually be given an official status, the physicians were not permitted to see Liu directly. Instead, they had to do it with a couple of veils between them. Li Gongzi sat behind the veil, and all the physicians determined that Li Gongzi had been pregnant for 2 months. After the initial shock, they congratulated Prince Jing. Prince Jing just nodded slightly in acknowledgement. Everything was going according to plan. The purpose of having this diagnosis done was so that the distant emperor would be informed. The emperor's trusted physicians wouldn't arrive at the western border for a while yet. The diagnosis would come in handy, as the emperor would definitely ask the physicians around Prince Jing for their opinions first. Before having the physicians assess Liu's pulse through the veil, Prince Jing had secretly found a woman who was 2 months pregnant to sit behind the veil in Liu's place. No way! He's so clever. The physicians had never assessed a pregnant man before to know any differences, so it was enough as long as they could tell he was pregnant. They would do the same thing each time afterward, until the birth. Prince Jing was prepared. When the news made it back to the capital, the emperor was so shocked his jaw nearly hit the floor, and he reread Prince Jing's letter several times. He never expected Prince Jing's response to be, "Liu is pregnant, please give him the consort position." The imperial guards that the emperor had sent to the western border reported the same thing and came attached with the physician's diagnosis. The emperor read it several times over, afraid he was misreading the words. Could men really get pregnant? Previously, the emperor would have been certain it was impossible, but seeing the physician's diagnosis now, he wasn't sure. After all, the reason was that he had a unique constitution. The emperor quickly summoned all the imperial physicians overnight and ordered them to analyze the diagnosis. They discussed it for the entire night, but they couldn't reach a conclusion. They didn't know Liu's actual condition, so there was no way they could say with 100% certainty that men could not get pregnant. The emperor sent a gynecological expert to the western border to take Liu's pulse. He gave it some thought, then sent a letter to Lao Kong as well. Lao Kong had a wealth of knowledge. He'd be able to give him a straight answer. There were only two possibilities when it came to Liu's pregnancy. It was either real, or Prince Jing was putting on an act. Although Prince Jing kept paving the way for Liu, the emperor didn't believe the prince would do such a stupid thing. A faked imperial pregnancy was very easy to expose. But what if it was real? Liu had no family and came from a poor background. He really wasn't a suitable candidate for consort. However, he had also accomplished a lot in a short period of time and made Prince Jing fall in love with him. The emperor was already being quite generous by granting him the title of concubine. But he couldn't agree to anything further due to the issue of Prince Jing's future heirs. Sorry, my lip is peely and it's distracting me, and I need it to not be. It's distracting me because I can feel it every time I move my mouth. Who needs chapstick when you have teeth? No, I actually can't use chapstick because of my eczema. Anyway. Na. If Liu really could bear children, then there was no reason not to give him the consort position. Staring at Prince Jing's letters, the emperor finally woke up. Prince Jing had probably waited until now to mention this specifically, so that the emperor wouldn't have any reason to say no. He laughed ruefully. Damn brat. He'd actually achieved the impossible. Soon, Lao Kong's response arrived. As expected of the eminent monk, all he said was, "The world is vast and full of wonders." The emperor understood that, based on Lao Kong's knowledge, he believed that it was possible for a man to get pregnant. His curiosity was satisfied. Now he just had to wait for the physician's diagnosis. First, though, the emperor assured Prince Jing that if the imperial physician confirmed that Liu could get pregnant, he would be willing to let Liu become consort. Prince Jing saw hope for victory and would occasionally take Liu on walks within the property to show him off in front of the servants. The entire western border hung on to Prince Jing's every word. Everyone was delighted at the news that he was about to have a child. Due to safety, Prince Jing had not publicized that the one who was pregnant was a man, as he didn't want that to become the topic of discussion. As a result, not many people knew, and all the villagers were full of happy congratulations. During this time, the bandits tried to use this chance to take revenge, but they ended up being discovered by the guards. When they realized that the bandits were only human and could be defeated, plenty of strong young men had signed up to join the guards. Prince Jing had more and more people under his command, and they grew stronger every day by training with the imperial guards. Meanwhile, Prince Jing had predicted an upcoming attack by the bandits, so he strengthened the defense. When the bandits came, they were once again defeated by tunnels and traps. From the outside, under Prince Jing's close guard, Lofeng village seemed impenetrable. And inside the village, he guarded Liu with equal care. Prince Jing never left Liu's side. Although it was a fake pregnancy, he kept telling Liu to rest and took care of everything for him. Prince Jing seemed almost obsessed, but he was happy. Liu thought Prince Jing must be taking this chance to take care of him, to make up for all the times he couldn't before. And what else could he do other than to accept all the attention? Eventually, Prince Jing didn't even want Liu to hold the crystal bottle. The responsibility of taking care of the fish babies fell to Wang Ji. Wang Ji couldn't help but sigh as he stared at the lively fish babies. Wouldn't it be lovely if Li Gongji could give birth to 4 babies too? Oh boy. Liu felt a bit awkward. Wang Gongong had accidentally predicted the truth. The fish babies also started noticing the change between their fathers. The first to notice was Da Bao, but eventually even Si Bao, who was a little slower, could tell something was different. Daddy Prince Jing was always guiding their fish dad around. They knew fish dad could transform into a human just like their prince dad, but now fish dad's stomach was even rounder than Bao's. Da Bao had already guessed what might be going on by listening to their father's words, and was eagerly anticipating. But the innocent Bao and San Bao asked, "Is Daddy going to give birth to another brother?" The even more innocent Si Bao asked, "Aw, Daddy must have eaten a lot of peach blossom pastries. He never gave them to Si Bao. Si Bao wants to eat too." They're speaking. I can't even tell. Even Si Bao is forming sentences. I'm gonna cry. The imperial physician that the emperor had sent was still on the way, while the growing up quest kept ticking down. One day, Liu had just taken off his belly pillow and was feeding the fish babies when Da Bao, who'd always been very attentive, suddenly seemed distant and zoned out. Liu didn't give it much thought, but in the time it took him to turn around, Da Bao had disappeared, and a chubby, pale baby had appeared on the bed, waving his arms and legs around. Okay. Da Bao was the first one to complete the system's quest, he realized, as expected of the smart Da Bao. Wait, no, Da Bao must be very afraid. Liu quickly picked Da Bao up and wiped away the water on his body. Luckily, the system hadn't transformed Da Bao right in the fish tank. That would have been disastrous. Prince Jing had prepared swaddling clothes in advance, and Liu bundled Da Bao up haphazardly, holding him up to his chest. Even though it was his first time being human, Da Bao was very brave and thought everything was very new. He stared around at everything with grape-like black eyes. Was this what it felt like to grow up? The next page is an illustration of baby Da Bao, of human baby Da Bao, and then he has question marks all around. He's so cute. And then Prince Jing and Liu are looking at him, and in the background is the fish tank with other babies and a spot missing from Da Bao. Oh my god! They're like, oh, what? Oh, hello, dog. It's a dog. She woke up. She's just been sleeping in the background. Do you want to go out? Are you stretching? She's looking at me like I'm crazy. This bitch has the nastiest side eye ever. Do you want to go out? Okay, I'll give it a couple more sentences. She's being weird. Never mind, she's going towards the door. Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna split the dog out. Go on. Okay. Okay. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Anyway, continuing. Page 147. After I burp. Oi, okay. Dabao moved his legs as usual, attempting to swim, but his arms and legs didn't listen to him. He wanted to call out to his fish dad, but when he opened his mouth, only crying came out. The brave Dabao finally felt a little fear. Now that he was human, he couldn't speak or swim. Well, he couldn't swim or speak. Dabao cried even harder. Prince Jing heard the crying from outside. As soon as he ran in, he saw Liu holding a human baby, doing his best to try to comfort him. Prince Jing had seen Liu and the fish babies holding each other's tails, so they formed a line. Although he already knew those babies were his children, they'd all looked like fish. The scene wasn't as shocking as seeing Liu try to comfort a real, live baby. Prince Jing's gaze started to blur. He walked over extremely carefully, afraid to startle Xiao Yu. "Your Highness, come look at Dabao!" Liu handed the child over. It wasn't very clear when he was a fish, but now that Dabao was human, it was very obvious. Prince Jing had also been a chubby little guy when he was young. He and Dabao looked like they came out of the same mold. Looking at the long-awaited small round child, Liu held in his laughter, but his eyes were slightly red. How strange. He was more emotional than when he laid the eggs, or even when they hatched. Prince Jing accepted the child from his arms, gazing endlessly at him as though it would never be enough. "Don't cry." He wiped Liu's eyes gently, but his own eyes were already wet. At that moment, Bao, Sanbao, and Sibao suddenly realized Dabao had turned into a human. The three of them were so afraid that they all held their breath and sank to the bottom of the tank. Oh, that was the end of the chapter. Oh my god, it's the end of the chapter. Now we're gonna just continue on. Chapter 91, Fish Baby Rebellion. Fish Baby Rebellion. Alright. Because Dabao had suddenly turned into a human baby, Prince Jing had no choice but to inform the servants that Liu had started giving birth. The midwife, in quotes, they had ready, what the fuck, I can't read, this is too much. The midwife they had ready came into the room, and Prince Jing stood guard over the birthing room. Wang Ji had been extra attentive these last few days. As soon as he heard the sound of an infant crying, he was delighted, but he didn't see the new young master for a long time. He was beside himself with worry when Prince Jing sent the word out that Liu had given birth to one child, but was still in labor. Wang Ji was stunned for a moment, then became ecstatic. Liu's stomach had been a little larger than normal, so he'd guessed there might be more than one. But since Prince Jing hadn't revealed anything, Wang Ji didn't dare spread the news based only on his own predictions. Now that he knew it really was a pair of twins, he was still happy, but immediately started praying. He had heard giving birth to twins was a very painful, dangerous, and laborious process. Wang Ji hoped Li Gongzi and the young masters would remain safe. Actually, fun fact, I am a twin, and it's like pretty much the same, but it's like once you pop one out, then the next one is just like, okay, well, that's job done. Like my mom had to be reminded to keep pushing after one popped out. Anyway. Outside of the room, Wang Ji and the servants waited anxiously. Inside the room, it was a completely different scene. The midwife was actually a trusted confidant of Prince Jing's who had a bit of medical knowledge. As soon as he entered the room, he cleaned Dabao up, checked him over, and rewrapped Liu's haphazard swaddle. "He's crying so hard. Is he uncomfortable somewhere?" Liu asked quietly. When Dabao had been a fish, he hadn't shed a single tear. What had happened to make him so upset? The confidant. Wait, here's the thing: is that confidant. No, I think I'm alright. The confidant finished checking and bowed to Liu with his hands clasped. The young highness is very healthy. He didn't know where this baby had come from, but he knew that this was the young highness. He disregarded everything else and just answered when he was asked. As for why the young highness was crying, that was easy. It was normal for babies to cry. Liu had been looking for a specific explanation and felt pretty disappointed. Never mind. Fish Dad decided he'd just ask Dabao himself once he learned how to speak. Dabao was healthy and his cries were clear and bright. Prince Jing felt his heart settle back down. Ever since he could remember, the imperial physicians had told him his muteness might be hereditary. It might be. It might still be. We still have like 3 more. We still have 3 more fish babies. As both he and Xiao Yu were male, he hadn't worried about this before. Then he had been surprised with some fish babies, and Xiao Yu had told him proudly that all the fish babies could say Dad. That was when Prince Jing thought that perhaps his muteness wouldn't be passed down to the carp spirits as children. But he'd never managed to hear the fish babies speak himself. Afraid Xiao Yu might be disappointed, he had never mentioned it to him. Well, that was really weirdly... Why did I phrase it like that? He'd never mentioned it to him. But now that Dabao was perfectly fine, Prince Jing could stop worrying. The confidant reported that all was well, and Dabao was a healthy human baby. Now it was time for the 3 other fish babies to follow him. Prince Jing ordered the confidant to leave the room for the time being, leaving only him and Liu. The 2 of them silently waited for the other fish babies to transform. From pregnancy to birth, Prince Jing had thought of and taken care of everything. But they'd both expected the fish babies to transform all at the same time. Instead, they were transforming one by one. Because Dabao had already transformed, the other fish babies had to follow him quickly so Liu could successfully give birth. After all, if a pregnant woman gave birth to many children, there wouldn't be too much of a gap between each one. It was easy to explain an hour or even 2, but if there was an entire day or longer between each one, that would be way too suspicious and dangerous. So, the current task was to convince the other 3 babies to transform as soon as possible. They couldn't let this birth drag on for too long. Liu thought that with Dabao as an example, the other babies would transform one by one, but for some reason the other 3 fish babies were all crowded together, trembling. They waited for a while, but Erbao still wasn't moving. They couldn't just keep waiting like this. Liu gave Prince Jing a look, then transformed into a fish to ask the fish babies what was going on. As soon as he returned to fish form and entered the tank, the fish babies all swam over. Dad! Dad! Erbao, Sanbao, and Sibao cried together. How scary! Daga turned into a human! Liu asked, amused. Do you guys not want to be human? Erbao, Sanbao, and Sibao shook their heads ferociously. We don't! Why not? Fish Dad thought being a human was much more interesting than being a fish. Why didn't the fish babies agree? Erbao hesitated. Dad, I wanted to try it before, but Daga couldn't even move after he turned human, so I changed my mind. Yeah, turning human is scary, Sanbao agreed. I wished to be human before too, but Daga stopped being able to speak. I'm afraid of being like Daga. Sibao said decisively, Dad, I'm not turning into a human. Liu never would have expected that before the revolution had even succeeded, the wide-eyed fish babies already wanted to rebel. The 3 babies huddled together tightly in a scared, fishy ball, and Liu couldn't do much about the current situation. He first had to dissolve the 3 babies' alliance. Liu started by bringing Sibao a large piece of peach blossom pastry. Sibao immediately forgot about his brothers and focused on the pastry instead. As for Erbao and Sanbao, Liu defeated them, one by one. He knew one liked food and one liked beauty, so he persuaded them using their specific preferences. Liu enticed Erbao patiently. Being a human is fun. You can be just like Dad. Other than peach blossom pastries and fish food, there's plenty of other delicious things, and you can play with the ducklings whenever you want. Hearing that there was a lot of delicious food to eat, his eyes grew wide. He also liked ducklings, but he was never allowed to get near them. If he turned into a human, he could play with them? In the face of food and fun, Erbao was suddenly tempted. Then Liu spoke to Sanbao. Once you turn into a human, you can wear clothes just like Dad and have lots of shiny accessories. Sanbao liked being pretty. Aw, Dad, I like shiny things. I want to wear Dad's clothes. Although Sanbao was a very pretty little silver fish, he couldn't go back and forth between forms. No matter how pretty something was, if something looked at it for too long, it would become boring. The same applied to fish. But Fish Dad got to wear something different every day. Sanbao wanted that. Just like Erbao, Sanbao changed his mind. Without much effort, Liu managed to convince the 2 out of the 3 members of the rebellion. So, do you guys want to try being human? He said, smiling. Erbao and Sanbao looked at each other, then giggled and nodded. Yes! With that, Erbao and Sanbao simultaneously turned into a pair of infants about as large as their brother. Prince Jing was waiting by the side of the tank and quickly scooped both of them up. Liu, they're just like, okay, I'll be a human. Okay. Oh my god, I can't. Liu jumped to Prince Jing's shoulder to see what they looked like. They looked just like Dabao with chubby little faces. Liu couldn't help but be a little upset. How come they didn't look like him? Soon, Erbao and Sanbao both started to bawl, perhaps because they didn't immediately receive delicious food and pretty clothes. Liu thought guiltily, "You'll have to wait until you grow older." After Erbao and Sanbao transformed, the only stubborn one left was Sibao. Sibao was still munching on his pastry. When he looked up, he realized his brothers were all gone. Only his fish dad was left, looking at him benevolently. "Sibao, do you want to become a human?" Sibao shook away the crumbs on his fins. No." Liu tried to tempt him the same way he had tempted Erbao and Sanbao. "There's delicious food, fun things to play with, and beautiful clothes. Sibao doesn't want any of that?" "No," Sibao said loudly. "Sibao has pastries from Dad to eat, and I can play with Dad. Sibao also doesn't like beautiful clothes." "Then what does Sibao like?" "I like my dad's the best." Liu's heart felt warm. Following Sibao's train of thought, he asked, "Then can Sibao help Daddy out?" Sibao nodded. If he could help Daddy, the innocent Sibao thought that made him even better than his brothers. Liu was now very good at convincing his children, and said to Sibao, "You'll be helping Daddy out if you transform. Can you do that?" This time, Sibao didn't even have to think about it. "Yes!" Oh, he's so precious. ... Liu thought he'd transform as soon as he agreed, but Sibao didn't. After agreeing, Sibao just kept waving his tail very earnestly. Liu and Sibao stared at each other for a while, waiting. He didn't know what the problem was. "Sibao, why aren't you transforming?" Liu couldn't help but rush him. Sibao glanced at his own fish body, spread his fins out, and tried very hard, shouting, "Transform!" But he was still a little fish. Nothing had changed. They went back to staring at each other, faintly confused. Liu suddenly realized something. "Sibao, you do know how to transform, right?" "I don't know," Sibao cried. If this fish still didn't transform, this was about to turn into a difficult birth. Liu, risking revealing himself as a system fish, reminded the slightly slow Sibao. "Hasn't there been anything called a system telling you to complete quests?" Yes, he's really annoying, so I ignored him. Dad, aren't I good?" Sibao thought the system was something bad. You can pay attention to him. Liu pushed back the urge to facepalm and guided Sibao. If you do what he says, you should be able to transform. Really? Sibao finally worked it out. He spun in circles on the spot. He spun in circles on the spot a few times, then mumbled something. Liu thought he still didn't understand when Sibao suddenly swam over and rubbed his mouth against Liu warmly. Dad! Sibao shouted happily. He wanted to tell him that he'd finally figured it out, but before he could get the words out, he disappeared. At the same time, a baby appeared before Liu. He had a pair of dark eyes, slightly curly hair, and pale skin. He was quite like a little angel and smiled at Liu toothlessly. Congratulations, user. Growing up has been completed. Please collect your reward. I'm gonna kill myself, they're so cute. After Liu had laid the eggs, just like last time, the system had gone into careful calculation and planning. It hadn't given him a new quest in a while. The current quest line he was on was to help the fish babies grow into humans. It took a while to complete this quest. The description said that all the kids had successfully turned into humans. They had become part of that world. Shut up. Shut up. No way. When Leo looked around the empty fish tank, with only him inside, he felt a little wistful. Leo had asked the fish scamming system before about the quest that the fish babies had to complete to transform. The system was quite secretive, though... I'm gonna drink some tea first before we read that. The system was quite secretive, though, and it had never told him the details about the quests. All Leo knew was that the tasks weren't so hard. After the fish babies completed them, they could turn into human babies, but they wouldn't be able to turn back into fish until they were 7 years old. If, at the age of 7, they could still remember being a fish, and would like to try being fish again, the system would give them a new quest. Completing it would give them the ability to transform into a fish, but if they forgot, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing for their new life. Leo paused, knowing this was something his children had to go through, but knowing was one thing. He wouldn't be able to see the lively jumping fish babies for a long time, and couldn't help but feel sad. A hand reached down, gently rubbing his back. As though leaning against driftwood, he pressed himself tightly against the hand. Whether the children remembered this or not, whether they remembered their fish dad or not, he would always have Prince Jing at his side. His Highness would never let him feel lonely. Very quickly, Liu's mood recovered, and he shook his tail, wrapping it around Prince Jing's finger. The people outside had been waiting for too long. It was time to bring the children out. Liu jumped into the crystal bottle so Prince Jing could take him along. That way, he could see the children too. I forgot that Liu only has a certain amount of... can only transform once a day, and only has a certain amount of time to... Oh, yeah. I forgot. Where was I? Everything was all set. Prince Jing rang the jade bell. Hearing his master's summons, Wang Ji shot into the room. Wang Gongong had heard the cries of 3 babies and was so happy he couldn't stop smiling. But when he came in, he saw 4 young masters? Wait, I heard the cries of 3... Sibao, are you mute? I don't know. Let's see, Sibao. My heavens, how amazing! Wang Ji was stunned for a while. He knelt to the ground to thank all manner of deities. On the same day, Prince Jing gained 4 sons. The gynecological expert arrived at the western border. Without resisting, he came to Prince Jing's residence in Lofeng village. Hearing that Li Gongzi had given birth to 4 babies, the physician couldn't even believe it. Li Gongzi, who had just given birth, needed rest. Prince Jing wouldn't let anyone disturb him. Even the imperial physician had to check his pulse through the veil. After checking Li Gongzi's pulse, the physician went to check on the 4 little newborn Gongzi. Men getting pregnant was completely unheard of. The emperor had given him a secret order to verify the identity of these children. The imperial physician had wanted to take a bit of blood from Li Gongzi to test and asked Prince Jing to understand, but Prince Jing shook his head. He couldn't let the physician disturb Liu. He stopped him and rolled up his own sleeve. The physician was stunned, but after a moment he quickly drew some of Prince Jing's blood. Compared to whether or not Li Gongzi could really give birth, the emperor cared far more about whether or not these children were actually of Prince Jing's blood. Testing proved that these little Gongzi were indeed Prince Jing's, and each child. Okay. Testing proved that these little Gongzi were indeed Prince Jing's, and each child's voice was louder than the next. None were mute, like the emperor had worried. What wonderful news! The imperial physician wrote a letter himself and sent it back to the capital at the fastest speed possible. And that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the chapter. This book is making me so emotional. I can't deal with it. I can't. What is going on in this next chapter? Okay, interesting. Alright, I will go and feed the dogs and get more tea. I will be back in a bit to read the next chapter. Alright, Burb. Burb, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, hello, I'm back. Hello, I'm back. I have more tea. Time to stretch, everyone. It's time to give it a good stretch. I think it might be too hot to drink for now. So, how you doing? How's life? How is life? I'm fine. Oh my god, my neck. My neck, my back, my beep and my crack. I can say pussy. I can say... Oh, my face. That's literally what I am. I'm a pussy cat. Right? Yeah, I'm not getting bonked for that. That'd be ridiculous. Alright. Oh my god, I don't know why, but like stretching my neck right now feels so good. It feels so good to stretch right now. Alright. I'm not gonna clap. I have a habit of clapping once I'm like done doing something. Clapping once, but obviously clapping is not good when you're in front of a mic. That's hot, but it's not too hot. Alright. Chapter 92. Gifted Fishy. Gifted Fishy. I wonder who it could be. I wonder which one is the gifted one. I wonder. Alright. Page 159. Gifted Fishy. The emperor held the letter in his shaking hand, afraid that his eyes were playing tricks on him. The imperial physician had reported that Prince Jing now had 4 healthy sons, and none of them were mute. The emperor pressed the letter to his chest, taking deep breaths. He had once believed that his and Empress Xiaohui's line would end with Prince Jing, but Prince Jing had healthy children. 4 of them! There was no news better than this. The emperor laughed out loud, no longer bothered by Prince Jing's slight offense from before. Now that he suddenly had 4 new grandkids, the emperor couldn't be happier. He immediately ordered Luo Rusheng to bring the material so he could write an imperial edict, officially announcing Li Yu and Prince Jing's consort, Prince Jing's oldest D son as Shizi, his second D son as standard class, rank 5 Cloud Cavalry Commander. Oh my god. His third D son as standard class, rank 7 Grace Cavalry Commandment. Cloud Cavalry Commandment, Grace these are footnotes because I'm very confused. Government officials in ancient China followed the 9-rank system, which classified officials into 9 ranks, each having a standard and secondary rank to make a total of 18 classifications. Okay. Shizi, standard class, Cloud Cavalry Commandment, Grace Cavalry Commandment. I don't know what that means, but maybe I'll learn something. Maybe we learn something. The emperor was so overjoyed that he appointed 4 official titles in one go, muttering the whole time, "I am appointing Li Yu as Prince Jing's consort, so this isn't a reward. Li Yu and Prince Jing both have made great achievements at the western border, so I will grant my grandsons titles instead." Oh, what the hell? He's so happy. Watching from the side, the corners of head eunuch Luo's lips twitched as he witnessed the emperor grant Prince Jing's youngest son the Grace Cavalry Commandment position as well. He thought, "You were the one who refused to give Li Yu the consort position, and look at you now." At least now head eunuch Luo knew who he should kiss up to in the future. This was just fate. The emperor had other grandsons, like the ones in the Marquis of An's household, but it had been a long time since they last entered the palace, so the emperor barely remembered them. Damn. The third prince also had sons, the oldest now 6 years old, the youngest 3. The third prince made them see the emperor often, but they had been taught too well. The emperor did want to see them, but it wasn't much fun when he did, so he didn't end up seeing them very often. None of them were like Prince Jing's son, who the emperor hadn't met yet. How exciting! The emperor couldn't stop thinking about them, and had even given them titles. This was a rarity indeed. Head eunuch Luo was very smart and made sure to only say things that made the emperor happy. This servant heard the imperial physician say that 3 of the royal grandsons look like Prince Jing. The youngest one looks more like Li Gongzi. Of course he does. Of course Xima does. Listen, I love them all equally. I do. I love them all equally. But there's just something about the one looking like the other parent. It's really cute. It's really cute. The emperor had never met Li Yu, but he remembered what Prince Jing looked like when he was young. Thinking back on it, he chuckled. It could be fun, if that's the case. The emperor wanted to see his grandsons, and after finding out they looked like Prince Jing, he wanted to see them even more. He knew that under Prince Jing's guidance, the western border was now in a pretty good state, but it still couldn't compare to the capital. It was best if his grandsons didn't continue to suffer there. Originally, the emperor had planned to make Prince Jing stay at the border for 2 years to prove himself. Now that his son had given him grandsons, the emperor wanted Prince Jing to rush back immediately. Luckily, head eunuch Luo was there to persuade him against being so rash. The royal grandsons had only just been born. How could they withstand such a long journey? The emperor finally relented, recognizing that the joy had gone to his head. If he wanted to summon them, of course it had to be after they grew up a bit. Over the past year, the emperor had been very satisfied with Prince Jing's various achievements on the western border. In comparison, the 6th prince, who'd only fixed Zhongxi... I can never get this first try. Zhongxi Palace seemed incredibly lackluster. Besides, Prince Jing already had a healthy D-son, so it no longer mattered whether or not he could speak. Unconsciously, the scale in the Emperor's heart started to tilt towards Prince Jing. Considering that his entire family was on the western border, though, the Emperor decided not to spread the news that Prince Jing already had a D-son before he returned. The Emperor ordered Lord Vosheng to announce the edict secretly and let the old Duke of Chang'an in on the secret as well. As Prince Jing's grandfather, Ye Qian, where is Ye Qian? Okay. As Prince Jing's grandfather, Ye Qian should be informed of the good news, but the Emperor told him not to spread it around. When Ye Qian received the news, tears flowed down his wizened cheeks. The Emperor's warning, however, made him realize that there was something unique about this situation. When he thought it over, he suddenly understood why. Ye Qian followed instructions to keep it to himself, only ordering the manor's doors to be tightly shut. He summoned an opera troupe. What? And they sang for 3 days and 3 nights straight. These days, when he walked, there was a spring in his step, and his health seemed much improved. The Emperor finally agreed to let Liu become Prince Jing's consort. Last time, he had only written a letter to Prince Jing. This time, he'd written an entire imperial edict about it. Everything was done and settled. Prince Jing had predicted this result and asked the Emperor to allow him to hold the wedding at the western border. Originally, the Emperor wasn't happy with this. How could he, as a father, not be present at his son's wedding? But his grandsons were already born. They couldn't delay the wedding any longer, and the Emperor couldn't leave the capital. With all that in mind, he had no choice but to agree to Prince Jing's request. Next, Prince Jing sent a list of names to the Emperor. These were the families who had stocked up on ducks while Prince Jing was taking care of the locusts. The Emperor immediately understood that Prince Jing was reporting these people. Oh my god, not an ad. Not an ad. Oh, it's okay though. We're fine. We can continue. But the Emperor understood that he was reporting these people. And he was smart about it. He just asked the Emperor to look into it, avoiding involving himself directly. Ever since the Emperor had sent Prince Jing to the western border, he had ordered someone to keep an eye on the communications between the border and the capital. With this list in hand, the Emperor quickly determined that these families who had hoarded ducks had someone supporting them from behind. While Prince Jing had been dealing with the locusts, the Marquis of Jinyi was the only person who had sent word over to the western border. The family that had first started stocking up on ducks were distant relatives of Vice Director Qin from the Ministry of Rights. The Marquis of Jinyi and the third prince were in-laws. Vice Director Qin stood on the third prince's side and often did things for the third prince, so it was obvious who was behind all of this. When the Imperial Guards looked into Vice Director Qin, they also discovered something else. Before Prince Jing reached the border, there had been rumors spreading about Prince Jing having a terrible temper and harming innocent people. These rumors were Vice Director Qin's doing. The guards had even found incriminating letters in Vice Director Qin's residence. The Emperor was shocked at all the evidence. Mu Tianming was right under his nose. These days, he was only allowed to study in the Imperial study room, but his influence still reached all the way to the western border. Was he trying to harm Prince Jing? The Emperor had planned on leaving the third prince be, wanting to preserve his dignity, but clearly the third prince was throwing it away himself. With a cold expression, the Emperor first punished the unappreciative Marquis of Jinyi, demoting him to the lowest rank. Then he gave the third prince the title of the Marquis of Ping. With the second prince, the Marquis of An, they made a pair. Footnote: together, the Marquis of Ping and the Marquis of An make the word peace. Wow. It's like putting on a getting along t-shirt. When he found out that he'd been completely abandoned, Mu Tianming ran to the palace, stumbling the whole way. The guards wouldn't let him in, so all he could do was kowtow in the direction of Changqing Palace, sobbing, "Royal father, please let me speak to you. It really wasn't me." Every time Mu Tianming's forehead came in contact with the ground, he grew more hopeless. He really couldn't explain it. The Marquis of Jinyi truly was keeping tabs for him, but that was it. He'd never asked him to do anything. Oh shit. He didn't know why Vice Director Qin had done all that, nor did he know how those letters written in his hand had ended up in Vice Director Qin's study. But the Emperor was convinced it was him, and he didn't want to hear any excuses. The third prince kneeled for an entire day and night. A rainstorm swept in and chilled his heart completely. He was in a daze, but just as he was about to pass out, an oil paper umbrella was slowly moved over the top of the third prince's head. Mu Tianming looked up to see Mu Tianxiao, expression full of concern. Beneath the umbrella, the sixth prince was still elegant and refined. "Third brother, you're going to catch cold." Mu Tianxiao reached out to help Mu Tianming up. I said that right. Everybody knew the sixth prince followed the third prince, never leaving him behind even when the third prince had fallen into the dust. But at this moment, Mu Tianming's mood was even colder than the rainwater. "Mu Tianxiao, let me ask you." Mu Tianming slapped away the sixth prince's hand, wiping his face, and asked in a low voice, Was that Qin guy following your orders?" Mu Tianming had given his token to Mu Tianxiao. If he hadn't sent the orders to Vice Director Qin, then it had to be Mu Tianxiao. He'd even stolen his handwriting. Mu Tianxiao had secretly planned everything behind his back, and now the third prince was the one suffering the Emperor's wrath. "Third brother, have you finally realized?" Mu Tianxiao smiled easily, twirling the umbrella carelessly, watching as the raindrops fell. "I just wanted to create some trouble for Prince Jing. That way I could gain power faster, and it would be good for you too." What are you saying? What are you saying? Okay, before we move on, there's an illustration on this page of this moment here of Mu Tianming being angry, slapping his hand away, and Mu Tianxiao looking evil. Looking real evil. He's got the dark shadow over his eyes and everything. Alright. "You're full of shit. You clearly broke my trust and used me as a stepping stone. Did you forget you used to be nothing? Who was the one who protected you? Who was the one who gave you something to do?" Mu Tianming grabbed onto Mu Tianxiao's collar in a fit of rage, wanting to choke the traitor to death. Mu Tianxiao didn't struggle. He let Mu Tianming shake him, then smiled as he said, "Third brother, with how things are now, you should really calm down." Mu Tianxiao peeled Mu Tianming's fingers off him, one by one. Mu Tianming realized with a start that the sixth prince was a lot stronger than he seemed. Mu Tianxiao smoothed out his collar and said slowly, "Third brother, our royal father won't bother you anymore. He won't listen to anything you have to say. If you behave as the Marquis of Ping, when I ascend to the throne, perhaps I will remember the good times we had in the past." "How dare you! How could Mu Tianming suffer such humiliation?" He lunged for Mu Tianxiao again. A guard appeared behind Mu Tianxiao and stopped Mu Tianming. Mu Tianxiao smirked as he turned around. "Third brother, please do as you seem fit. I'll be leaving first." Mu Tianxiao walked into the rain alone with his umbrella. No matter how much Mu Tianming cursed or screamed behind him, he completely ignored him. Mu Tianxiao's mood soared. He was finally completely free from the third prince. When he returned to his manor, his confidant reported that the emperor had appointed Liu to be Prince Jing's consort. Mu Tianxiao couldn't help but snort. Taking a man as his official consort? Prince Jing probably wouldn't be able to achieve much anymore. He was in the midst of reveling he was in the midst of reveling in his victory when his confidant backed up a step and said in a low voice, "Your Highness, news just arrived from the western border that Prince Jing now has 4 healthy D sons." What? Mu Tianxiao's expression was panicked. Wasn't Prince Jing about to marry a man? Where had these 4 D sons come from? And they were all healthy? Had his confidant made a mistake? Mu Tianxiao didn't believe his confidant and grabbed the report from him, reading it carefully line by line. The Sixth Prince didn't have that many people working for him at the western border, so he didn't have anyone in Prince Jing's residence directly. His reports essentially just contained what the villagers knew. Prince Jing really did have healthy children. In that case, Prince Jing's muteness was no longer a flaw he couldn't overcome. The Sixth Prince had understood. Nope, the Sixth Prince didn't understand where the children had come from, but he could already foresee the outcome. If Prince Jing's muteness wasn't a problem, what did he have to compete against Prince Jing with? The palace he'd spent over half the year repairing at the Ministry of Works, or his mother, who had once been a palace servant. He finally escaped from the Third Prince's halo to reach this point. He was about to marry an aristocratic lady and receive support from the Yue family. The Third Prince's power and authority were now his, and he was walking step by step toward his goal. Was Prince Jing going to snatch everything out of his hands just because he had a son now? He would never let such things happen. The Sixth Prince read the report over and over, searching for some flaw in Prince Jing he could use against him. Prince Jing, who had no flaws, was currently suffering from a headache. That's a very abrupt POV switch. Oh my god. Wang Ji saw the 4 children as a symbol of luck and found the best wet nurse for them. But aside from the day where they were born, these symbols of luck refused to breastfeed at all and cried all day. They had truly become spoiled little princes. When the imperial physician was summoned, he couldn't find anything wrong with them. Liu was beside himself with worry, but also puzzled. If he held the kids, they immediately cried a lot less. But if he handed the children off to the wet nurse, they would cry until their faces were red, each of them gasping for breath. It seemed they had grown too used to being fish, and they couldn't live without their fish father. Li was secretly delighted that his children still thought of him. But babies had to drink milk. They couldn't continue like this. Did that mean he had to be the one to feed them? Feeding babies was different from feeding fish. It seemed kind of interesting. Liu rubbed his hands together excitedly. How about I try? Prince Jing was stunned. Taking a peek at Liu's flat chest, he couldn't help the flurry of thoughts in his head. Were carp spirits that gifted? Not only could they give birth, they could also breastfeed? Stop. Stupid. Oh, hi, morning. It looks like... What? What did you just say? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think that's where we're gonna end today, though. I thought that I was tired. It looks like everybody on the creature font. Everybody on the creature font. What the hell does that even mean? Okay, you're saying... What does that mean, though? No, my voice hurts. It's been so dusty and ashy. And I had to spend a lot of yesterday outside. I joined a new ending, true. I'm tired and the next chapter is quite long. Because the next chapter is Grand Fishy Wedding! They're getting married. They're finally getting married. They're finally getting married. DMs, ugh. Hang on. No. Why does it look like that? You're right, it does look like air butt. Airy butt. Alright. That is where we're ending today. Of Liu maybe breastfeeding? Probably not. We know how this fucking works. But let's see what we have in store for ourselves. After Grand Fishing Weddy is one fishy family. Ooh, I'm not gonna spoil the next one after that one though. What does that even mean? Oh, what the? Okay, this is gonna be great. Oh no, this is gonna be so good! Wait. No, I can't read another chapter. But I want to get to 4 chapters next week, but I don't know if we can. Oh wait, no, it would only be 3. Oh no, that's 4. Never mind. We'll see. We'll see. We're almost halfway through. This is so fun. This is so fun. What's breastfeeding? I'm a visual learner. I don't know. I'm also a visual learner. Okay, but there is an announcement to make. Yippee! The only person who knows about it is already here, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm actually gonna post it right now. Watch me post it right now. Watch me post it and schedule this one right now. Monday. Announce it right now. Okay, Monday at, should I do it at 6 or? Yeah, we'll do it at 6 and then my stream on Monday will be at 5. So we'll have a little time. Whew. I'm releasing a cover, another cover. Yippee! I'm releasing another cover. I have to get the link for this though. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Wait, how do I do this? Oh, everything's so stressful. Oh wait, no, it has to, wait. Oh shoot, set as a premiere. Do I set up? No, I'm not gonna set it up. Public schedule, set as premiere schedule. Yippee! I know how to do this. It's not showing up. Hold on. It's taking. Hang on. Hang on. Give it a minute. Why not? It's fun listening live premiere. What? Why is it not working? No, it is going to be premiere. I'm just not setting it up, like choosing the thing. It's public and then schedule? Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know what's happening. I'm confused. Listen, I uploaded it as private before. Oh no, it's here. Never mind. It's here. Don't worry. Why isn't it on my homepage? I don't understand this. My silly thing. Okay, I just need to get the link. This is so fun. This is so fun. I love doing stream stuff. Let me put my book down. I love doing stream stuff while I am live. Where the fuck is my things? where the heck are my things? You're so much better. I know, right? I'm so better. Okay. Copy. Paste. Premiere. Nope. Oops, I forgot I need to copy and paste. This is so annoying. This is crazy. This is crazy. Guys, don't become a YouTuber. That's not what I meant to do. No cover. Day. Wait, month, day. Wait. How does calendars work? Yeah, okay. 17, 18, what is it gonna be on? The 20th. It's gonna be on Monday. 20. You gonna draw mine? Oh, sure. And I'm posting a teaser right now. On Twitter. Not Twitter. On Blue Sky. It's uploading. So we're just gonna take a couple of seconds and be fun. Yay! Did we like the fishies happening today? I think today's fishy reading was so fun. I love them so much, and I also love it when a bitch is evil. I love it when a bitch switches up and is just evil and betrayal. Oh, it's so good. I always give these evil bitches like the same voice. But it's a good voice, so you know? You know, something about Blue Sky is that it fucks up the video. Like, for some reason, whenever I post videos, it kind of clips it off at the end. It does a little glitch thing. I'm gonna mass heart your stuff, okay. Good luck, I guess. Da, 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 da. You'll never guess what this song is. I didn't even say what it is. It's the Love and Deep Space opening. Some long for longevity before fading to dark. Oh, I gotta figure out the credit stuff. Okay, I'm gonna post it and then wait, no, don't mass like all my stuff. Everything on Blue Sky. You're insane. Okay. I'm gonna post this and then I'm gonna end stream and then I'm gonna do the credits down below. So yippee! Yippee! Okay. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. My cover will be released on my covers channel, by the way. At Aries Aite. ARESAITE. So yeah, if you're interested, you don't have to be. It's fine if you're not. But if you like Love and Deep Space, I don't know, you might like it. Just saying. Okay. But thanks for being here. I'll see you later. Stay safe and mask up. Okay, bye. I can't find my ending screen. I never find it. I never find it in time. Okay, it's there. Okay, gay fella, thanks for the stream. Okay, bye, gay fellas. Bye.